What's up with it, man? It's the Bronco at the Frog coming at you with another reaction video. We got us an interesting video today by the man Chelsea Library. Go subscribe to him, get him to 10,000 subscribers. Go like up the original video. Interesting ass topic. Why the Premier League's Big Six era is dying. Is it really dying? I ain't really heard too much or too much conversation about the Big Six era dying, I ain't gonna lie, but I have seen, heard of teams trying to squeeze their way in to the Big Six. Like you got Newcastle trying to squeeze their way in. If you look at the Premier League table right now and the standings, you gonna see Nottingham Forest up in that hole. You gonna see, hold on. Let's pull up the standings, matter of fact. Well, I mean, it's still basically Big Six. Like, come on. Well, you got United and Tottenham down here. United and Tottenham in 13, 14. And then when it comes to like the top six, Nottingham and Newcastle basically just took their spot. Everybody else, like, matter of fact, let me move my camera, bro. Everybody else, you still got Poole up here, you still got Arsenal up here, still got Chelsea. Tottenham and United got booted out for Newcastle and Nottingham. Cause you remember, not too long ago, didn't Nottingham spend the most money on like transfers in the Premier League that season or something? They had like a whole new team or something like that. But hey, let's go ahead and see what the man Chelsea Library has to say. Let's see what goes down.
Why is the Premier League's Big Six era dying? Just look at how far United and Spurs have fallen, while unexpected teams are rising. The answer, however, is more complicated than it seems. It all began in 1992, when English football changed forever.
So I'm assuming that he gonna bring up TV rights, and it's more money to go around in terms of the clubs, and a lot of clubs have more viewership. So guess what? The CEOs from different countries, them Saudi boys with the oil money and all of that, you don't necessarily gotta buy a Big Six club now to make your money back. Because of the fact with the TV deals and the eyes is on the whole league, yeah, you can multiply that money way easier with like a mid-table club that you could buy, like when the oil people bought Newcastle.
Away from the Football League, forming the Premier League with a groundbreaking TV deal. This massive injection of money gave clubs with strong financial backing the power to sign the world's best players. But in the early years, one club rose above the rest, Manchester United. Under Sir Alex Ferguson, United became the first true superpower of the Premier League. Their dominance.
And it's always funny to see like that. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. United ain't been on shit ever since I started watching football in like since 2021. They're all like, you gotta realize, and I ain't gonna say it's weird for me to learn that United is the biggest club in the world, or would y'all say Manchester United is still the biggest football club in the world? Genuine question. Cause in my mind, the biggest club in the world to me is Real Madrid. But Man United, them boys been off or down for so long. I don't know if you can say that they still the biggest club in the world, bro. I feel like it got to be Madrid. Jalen say it's always been Madrid. I don't know about always. Watching the historical videos and references and all of that. But I'm talking about like as of now and the way United just been. Like what in the hell happened with them, man? Real Madrid, they had down here, then they reload. They reload. Manchester United, like last time them boys been mainstream or like must watch that everybody tune into the games was when that man CR7 played with him a couple of years ago, and that hoe ain't even work out. And he came out and started talking about everything. Boy, he earned it out in that interview. Let's see what goes down.
Wasn't just about winning trophies. They built a global brand, attracted elite talent, and set the standard for success. Yeah. While United dominated, Arsenal, under Arsene Wenger, emerged as their fiercest rival. Wenger brought a new philosophy: free-flowing attacking football, intelligent scouting, and an ability to unearth bargain talents.
Really? So Man United and Arsenal at the beginning of the Premier League was a bigger rivalry than Man United and Liverpool? I thought United and Liverpool was the biggest rivalry in the Premier League. Am I right? Or the biggest, most fierce, or the most notorious? So like at the beginning, at the advent of the Prem, Arsenal and United was a more, little fierce, little bang bang. Liverpool fell off in a thousand. Oh, okay. So while Liverpool had their down years, United and Arsenal, they was the main ones knocking. He said, clearly haven't heard of Merseyside. Nah, I used to ask people back in the day. They said United and Liverpool was the biggest rivalry. No cap. That's what I said. Let's Google it. Biggest rivalries in Premier League. I see Reddit. Reddit said United and Liverpool is the biggest match. All right, 5 biggest Premier League rivalries. Number 5, they put Merseyside at number 5. This was made in 2022. This is a sports betting site. Then they put North London over Merseyside. Then the Manchester Derby, Liverpool City, and then they put Northwest Derby, which is Liverpool United, at number 1. Y'all know the minute I started watching the Manchester Derby, I thought the Manchester Derby was number 1. Like when I first came on the scene, just because, City was on their dominant side, and then, United still had a little bit of clout. But yeah, like I say, the boys say United, Liverpool, was the biggest.
Approach led to one of the most remarkable achievements in English football history, the Invincibles of 2003-4, an Arsenal side that went an entire league season unbeaten. For nearly a decade, United and Arsenal ruled England, winning every Premier League title.
All right, I got another question. My bad for keep pausing. So how many points what did the Invincible have? They finished with 90. Why y'all lying? Boy, it's about some 70, 73. Look at Houston. That boy Houston don't know nothing about no ball, man. He talking about some 70. That is a 20-point discrepancy right there. Talk about some 73. Man, how you get 77 from 90? They had 26 wins, 12 draws. All right, so what y'all think is more impressive? Going invincible with 90 final points, or scoring 100 and something points like City did? And didn't Liverpool do it too? That same season, what y'all think is more impressive? 100 something points, or finishing a whole season with no wins? I mean, with no losses, Centurion, that's what they call them? Oh, they ain't do it. They was close. Okay, type shit. That's what they call their city squad, the Centurions. Let's look at them. So they must have only lost like 1 game, huh? Fresh say going invincible. They lost 2 games. Drew 4. And then the Invincibles, they had 12 draws. It's a real debate because of the fact that these two are the only teams to do it. Like Arsenal was the only team to have a whole season without losing. Man City is the only team to have a whole to complete the season with 100 points. And so which one do you prefer? No defeats or 100 points? Fresh say 0 defeats is insane, but everybody else say Man City is more impressive, mortal in the building. So just a little food for thought type shit.
1996 to 2004, but their duopoly wouldn't last forever. A new force was about to shake the league to its core. In 2003, everything changed. Chelsea, fresh off securing a Champions League spot, caught the eye of Russian billionaire Roman Abramovich. He didn't just buy the club, he revolutionized it. Abramovich poured millions into Chelsea, signing world-class players and assembling a squad that could finally challenge United and Arsenal's dominance.
And then, didn't they toss the man to the side once the Russian and Ukraine war started? Or was it for deeper reasons? Wasn't it because of the war and they banned like everything Russian? I don't even think the Russian players could play in like other leagues. Damn, they just tossed that man to the side just like that. So what's his what about his political views? What his political views, like supporting the war or something, or was he just like minding his business? Because if they toss him to the side just for being Russian, that's crazy. But if he had like his political views known and shit, then okay, then I'll be like, okay, that makes sense. He was a Russian oligarch. Well, that makes sense then. If he was deeper, like, deeper into it.
Almost overnight, Chelsea went from outsiders to title contenders. From 2004 onwards, they finished outside the top 2 just once in the next 8 seasons. The message was clear. Money had become the most powerful weapon in football, and the rest of the league was paying close attention. While Liverpool was historically one of England's biggest clubs, they struggled in the early Premier League years.
Of course they struggling. Look at these ugly-ass jerseys. I know these jerseys are probably iconic now, but look at these, boy. Matter of fact, Bronco can swag it out. I ain't gonna lie, I can swag it out. But they growing on me already. Hold on now. I'm trying to think of like a present day version of this. I feel like if they had a present day version of this, I probably would have bought it. These look better than the Minecraft kits. No cap. Cause they tried to recreate this, but they made it like real neon green with the Minecraft kids, bro. Like, oh man.
early Premier League years. They re-entered the conversation with their trophy successes
Look at
in the
Steve.
early
Look how young he
2000s,
looks.
with their Champions League trophy of 2004-05 being their biggest. But with the arrival of Jurgen Klopp in 2015 and smart recruitment, they soared even higher, winning the league in 2020 for the first time
You hear
in
that?
30 years.
Hold on, you hear that? Y'all seen when he brought up Chelsea? He said a Russian billionaire bought them boys. You seen when he said pool? He say, man, hey, Klopp and good recruitment. No billionaire, hey, good recruitment. Now that's ethical right there.
The Premier League's landscape shifted once again in 2008. Sheikh Mansour took over Manchester City and injected enormous wealth into the club. The investment transformed City from mid-table hopefuls into one of the most dominant teams in football history.
Yeah.
With world-class managers like Pep Guardiola and an endless pool of talent, City
Toure
not only
dude.
won titles,
Aguero.
but rewrote record books. Unlike their rivals, Tottenham Hotspur didn't have a billionaire takeover to propel them forward.
Rivals?
Instead, they broke into Hotspur.
Wait, City and Tottenham are rivals? I ain't really heard too much about that rivalry right there. God damn, Siri, what's that nonsense up? I ain't really heard too much about that rivalry. I ain't gonna hold you. City and Tottenham. He said he just used the word rival. All right, I'm just making sure.
Didn't have a billionaire takeover to propel them forward. Instead, they broke into the elite through smart management, academy talent, and tactical evolution. Their rise began in the 2009-10 season when they qualified for the Champions League for the first time in the modern era.
Boy, I thought that man was
10
getting
season
attacked or
when they
something.
qualified
I was finna say, his eye, he's dead as hell inside his eye. He ain't smirking, he ain't smiling.
They qualified for the
That boy literally no emotion. He looks scared.
Champions.
He literally has no emotion on his face before that boy, they splashed life
when they
flash for his
qualified for
eye.
the Champions League for the first time in the modern era. From there, they became a consistent top 6 side, securing 11 consecutive top 6 finishes. However, silverware eluded them. Their closest moments came in 2016-17 when they finished second in the league, and in 2019 when they reached the Champions League final. But it's not just about football. The Big Six also dominate commercially. Their global fan bases, sponsorship deals, and TV rights
They don't even sound right these days. I bet you them Tottenham fans was like, don't worry, lads, we'll be back. We'll be back. We made it to the final. Lost to we'll be back.
Football.
Lost to
the Big Six also
Liverpool. Okay, bet. Just making sure. Lost to Liverpool. They say, we'll be back, lads.
Football. The
Them
Big
boys
Six also
indeed
dominate
was not
commercially.
back.
Their global fan bases, sponsorship deals, and TV rights revenue make them financial giants. For most of the 2010s, this elite group seemed untouchable. Apart from Liverpool's occasional dips, the other 5 clubs finished in the top 6 in 8 of the 10.
Let me move my camera out the way. So y'all was right. Y'all wasn't lying when y'all say Liverpool was mid.
Group seemed untouchable. Apart from Liverpool's occasional dips, the other 5 clubs finished in the top 6 in 8 of the 10 seasons. Breaking into this exclusive club seemed impossible, but recently the cracks have begun to show. Once guaranteed a place at the top, these clubs are scattered across the standings, struggling against a new wave of challengers. This fall from grace didn't happen overnight. In fact, the so-called Big Six have finished as the top 6 only once in the last 5 seasons.
Move my camera again. Hold on. Only once did the Big Six finish in the last 5 seasons. Did they finish top 6 in the last 5 seasons? That was 21-22. City, Pool, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal, United, in that order. But now, like I say, you have occasional God damn it, Siri. Now you got occasional, infiltrators like no. Yeah. I know Newcastle for sure. Nottingham this year. Then Bournemouth finished. Am I tripping? I don't know who I'm thinking about.
Last 5 seasons. Instead, unexpected teams have stepped up. Newcastle shocked the league by finishing 4th in 2022-23, returning to the Champions League after 20 years. Aston Villa followed in 2023-24, edging out Tottenham for the final Champions League spot. And if Nottingham Forest continues their current trajectory, this could be the 3rd straight season where outsiders break into the top 4, let alone the top 6. So, what exactly caused this power shift? No club embodied English football's dominance like Manchester United. But since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, the club has been in freefall. Ownership issues under the Glazers, reckless recruitment, and a constant managerial carousel have left United a shadow of their former selves. They're now struggling in the bottom half of the table. Erik ten Hag was supposed to restore order, but inconsistency plagued his tenure. Worse still, rather than making a decisive managerial change last summer, the club waited until October, leaving his replacement, Ruben Amorim, scrambling to play catch-up. Chelsea's financial power was once their biggest weapon, but under Todd Bowley's Chelsea's financial power.
It is so weird to see the man Ancelotti anywhere but Real Madrid, and I heard that he's supposed to be leaving soon to coach some national team or something. It wasn't that the rumors that he finna leave Madrid for a national team? I don't know.
Was once their biggest weapon, but under Todd Bowley's ownership, it's starting to look like a double-edged sword. Since taking over, Bowley's consortium has spent over £1 billion on transfers, yet Chelsea haven't managed a top-4 finish.
Nada.
The club's strategy has shifted from signing world-class, experienced players to stockpiling young talent for the future. It's a long-term vision, but at the cost of short-term success. Even manager Enzo Maresca has hinted at a lack of urgency in his press conferences.
The result,
a young, talented squad that lacks cohesion. If Chelsea's reckless spending doesn't translate into results soon, their aggressive transfer approach could backfire spectacularly. Few clubs flirt with greatness as often as Tottenham Hotspur, only to see it slip away. This season has been no different. After losing their best-ever player, Harry Kane, they turned to Ange Postecoglou to revitalize the club with an exciting, attacking philosophy. But the promise hasn't turned into consistency. Poor form, injuries, and defensive frailties have dragged Spurs into the bottom half of the table. As the Big Six stumble, the chasing pack is seizing its moment. When Eddie Howe took charge of Newcastle United, the club was staring relegation in the face.
Look at this relegation table. I don't know exactly what year this is. Let's look at this relegation table. Norwich, we all know Norwich and Burnley. They always in relegation. Watford, Leeds, Southampton, Everton. But Newcastle really had them a comeuppance. Let me move my head out the way. This is 21-22. Damn, this is recent. And them boys just won them a major trophy this year.
Years of mismanagement under Mike Ashley had drained the squad of ambition and quality, but everything changed with the arrival of Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Unlike other takeover stories, Newcastle's transformation wasn't just about money. It was about smart recruitment and strategic management. Howe built a squad with a clear identity, signing Bruno Guimaraes, Alexander Isak, and Anthony Gordon, players who fit a high-intensity, attacking philosophy. For Brighton, their rise from lower league obscurity to Premier League prominence is built on smart ownership, excellent coaching, and a strong club culture. Tony Bloom's financial for Brighton, their rise from lower league.
League One, that's the one that's below EFL Championship, right? Them boys went from League One in 2010-11. I don't know when they got promoted to the Prem, but they come up as a good team within the last 10 years or 15 years now.
Obscurity to Premier League prominence is built on smart ownership, excellent coaching, and a strong club culture. Tony Bloom's financial backing and strategic leadership provided stability, while Graham Potter and later Roberto De Zerbi implemented their brand of football, progressive, high-pressing football. Their recruitment focuses on fitting a clear system rather than chasing big names, ensuring squad depth and adaptability. When Unai Emery took over in 2022, Aston Villa was spiraling. Steven Gerrard's tenure had left the club teetering on the edge of relegation. Fast forward just 2 seasons.
You really couldn't rally your troops to beat Manchester City that damn last match they so Poole could win a title? Oh, let City do all this bullshit, score back-to-back goal. Did they score? What exactly happened in that game? We're going to score City goal. Aston Villa ended up doing something real dumb to let City do something crazy to snatch the damn title from Liverpool. Because I remember Liverpool was playing Wolves. Poole was playing Wolves, bottom of the 2-0 lead. Yeah, that's what it was. She pissed me off. I think I got my live reaction somewhere. Bronco, Ashton. I think this is what it was. Yup. 3 goals in 5 minutes. 3 goals in 5 minutes. Liverpool fan
3 goals in
reacts to Man City winning the Premier League title against Aston Villa. Yeah. I forgot all about this, bro.
5 minutes. Steve Gerrard. 3 goals in 5 minutes. That's the best you can do. We held up outside of the park.
That's best you could do.
We beat them boys 3-1. We held up outside. You had them down 2-0, and you couldn't. I said, bro, after that happened, I was like, bro, there is no way Man City is scoring 3 goddamn goals in 20 minutes that they had?
And they did it in 5.
They scored 3 goals in 5. Too bad I couldn't do that against Real Madrid. You know what I'm saying? Too bad. The reason why I'm not tripping bad, because we win the Champions League. We gonna win the Champions League anyway.
All right, that's enough.
Fast forward just 2 seasons, and Villa is now a Champions League club. Emery wasted no time instilling discipline, tactical structure, and confidence into the squad. Key signings like Pau Torres and Moussa Diaby bolstered the team, but perhaps more impressive was how he revitalized Ollie Watkins and Douglas Luiz, turning them into elite performers. If there's one club that has defied all expectations this season, it's Nottingham Forest. Just last season, they broke the record for the lowest points tally to survive relegation. Now, they sit third in the Premier League.
Top 3 just in the season.
Their resurgence is backed by Greek billionaire Evangelos Marinakis, who initially flooded the squad with 21 new signings upon promotion. But the real turning point came when they hired Nuno Espirito Santo. Under Nuno, Forest has refined its recruitment strategy.
Why is it cool? So they got a Greek billionaire. Why is it cool when boys got Greek billionaires or Russia billionaires, but it's a problem when it's Saudi? You feel me? Why boys don't be cutting slack here and there? They only be cutting slack and talk about the Saudi billionaires, but they don't talk about nobody else. Because of the oil? Because of oil? Why boys picking and choosing?
In the Premier League, an incredible turnaround. Their resurgence is backed by Greek billionaire Evangelos Marinakis, who initially flooded the squad with 21 new signings upon promotion. But the real turning point came when they hired Nuno Espirito Santo. Under Nuno, Forest has refined its recruitment strategy, prioritizing quick, direct players like Callum Hudson-Odoi and Anthony Elanga, a solid defensive foundation led by Murillo, Neco Williams, and Nikola Milenkovic, and a more structured defending. Offensively, they've become a counter-attacking machine, with Chris Wood scoring the most goals except Salah and Haaland. If they maintain this trajectory, Forest could mark 3 consecutive seasons where an outsider finishes in the top 4, let alone the top 6. So, what does this mean for the future of the top 6? While the big 6 are struggling, will they be replaced? Probably not. A club like Nottingham Forest isn't going to replace Manchester United as a global brand over
I say, hold on, let the video end.
Overnight. What's more likely is a shift toward a Big 8 with other teams joining the established elite. And for football fans, this is the best possible outcome. More competition, more unpredictability, more drama.
Hey, shout out Chelsea Library for making this video. Go subscribe to them, man. Drop them a subscription. I forgot to do it at the beginning of the video. Get them to 10,000 subscribers. Like up the original video, bro. Great video he made. If boys did, instead of replacing Big 6 like he say, they instead to fuck around and make a Big 8. First club, if the Big 8, if they did have a little Big 6 replacement, first club that's getting kicked out is Tottenham. I think we can all agree with that. Can we agree? Can we agree? First club getting kicked out that motherfucker is Tottenham, and the club that's most likely to replace it is probably just from feelings and what I've been seeing discourse on Twitter and stuff in a future, I feel like it's Newcastle. But I feel like Tottenham definitely will be the ones to get kicked out first. But hey, that's the Premier League right there. The future, we'll see what happens in the future. Everything can change. Like, look at the league now in 2025 versus 2015. See how much the league has changed. 10 years is a lot of times. Is a lot of time, and it's a lot of time in the football world also. So we'll see how the future holds. He say, and then Arsenal. He say, Rika say, we bigger than Chelsea. It don't matter about UCL. We bigger. Man, here we go. Hey, like I say, the future will definitely be interesting. I'm out.